wrong music, and I'm recording too. That's the funny thing.
You know, right?
Shit,
You edit too.
exactly. Fuck it though. Damn, I ain't done gunshots in a long time. And then that was bass. Good evening, motherfuckers and motherfuckers. This is your host, Uncle Dolomite, of the Too Much Game podcast, live from the sanctuary once again. Today's episode, I honestly got some news you can use, my nigga. I got a special guest today. You know, y'all niggas know I don't usually have guests, but today, this one of the ones, like, nigga, this was one that I feel like if y'all only listen to one episode all the way through, this gonna be the one y'all motherfuckers gonna want to hear. Like this, usually this show, I'm giving y'all value as far as, you know, things you can use in your life, motivation and shit. But today's episode, this gonna be actionable shit that you need to implement in your life. Today, I have Mr. Brown, life agent. You know, life insurance agent Nathan Brown, an expert, if you will. How you doing today, Mr. Brown?
And I'm blessed. I'm blessed and always blessed.
Man, blessed to have you here, man. I'm glad you showed up. You know, you hit me up, like 2 weeks ago, I think?
Yeah.
You know, and it was funny because when you originally hit me up,
Well, I want to hit you up.
like, huh? Oh, but yeah, like usually, you know, motherfuckers hit me up and be like, hey, man, you know, I want to be on your show. And 9 times out of 10, immediately, once a motherfucker say it, I'm like, no, just, nah. You know, you can't be on my show, my nigga. Just no. Not even go try to sugarcoat the shit. But, you know, like it was kind of a like, I think I tapped into one of your lives for just a hot little second. And I'm like, oh, shit. You know, if he was to ask, it's a yes. So remember, you know, when you asked me, I just was like, what you want to talk about? Because
right. You didn't even have a specific. Yeah.
A lot of niggas, I just say fucking no. Just straight the fuck up. Because if it ain't something that I feel is valuable to my listeners, if you're not giving something that I feel like my listeners could take away and say, nigga, this was one that I'ma save, I'ma download this shit. Like I'ma listen to this multiple times. It's like, nigga, just know if you niggas come on to be funny, no. If you want to talk about your rap career, no. If you got an album out, no. This ain't that kind of show, my nigga. If you here to promote some shit, this ain't a promotional show. So, Mr. Brown, he got some shit to give y'all that I feel could, you know, help y'all. Nigga, help me, literally, dog. I ain't bullshit. I brought my life insurance policy just so I could ask some questions. Cause on some real shit, nigga, I got some shit I need to talk about, nigga. I got $1 million life insurance policy that I'm trying to leverage. So I'm like, shit, you know, this one, all I got is questions for him. And usually I'm not an interview person. I'm not the type of nigga to be asking you, so how'd you know, what made you want to rap? You know, who touched you when you was little? I don't care. I don't give a fuck who touched you when you was little, my nigga. That ain't none of my goddamn business.
I'm gonna laugh because I think you hilarious as hell, though. That's why I watch your content, because you drop real, and it's just like, damn, that's real, because that's the truth.
You know, and that's the thing. Like, you know, niggas do interviews. I don't do interviews. I try to offer value. So, you know, you a life insurance agent. How is it that we could, number one, leverage the life insurance that we have? Because we're gonna get into the obvious necessity to have this shit.
Right.
But like I kind of want to get into the meat and potatoes in the beginning of this motherfucker, just so niggas know where we at with it.
Let's get into it. And honestly, you got to know your first 2 years on your policy is contestable. It's very little you can do. But after those 2 years, and in business, you have relationship with banks. After those 2 years, you can ask the bank for a collateral assignment form. The people may not even know what you're talking about. Ask them for a collateral assignment form. Take that to your insurance agent. Have them confirm the value of your life insurance. Bring that back to the bank. Say, hey, I need a loan application. Use the collateral assignment form and the loan application together to qualify for funding. So if I have $1 million policy, say it's a whole life, and it's a cash, they want you to use cash value policies, but I'm gonna tell you, they're not They have no way of doing due diligence on if it's cash value or not. They don't. And if you have a bank relationship with the banker, it's more or less on that person to say, hey, I don't believe or trust you. Let me go through extra hoops to figure this out. Right. But the truth is, now you get that money. And when you get that money, you should put it right back into life insurance. So, like I said, the bank, collateral assignment form. You bring it to your agent. Your agent confirms the policy. You bring that signed form from your agent with your policy number and the values properly filled out back to the bank. You get a loan application. On that loan application that you're putting with that, you're going to say my life insurance is my asset. And even if there's some place where you want to put some comments, say I would like to leverage my life insurance policy for this amount of money. This is the life insurance, the collateral assignment form comes with it. Mind you, you can go to the bank and ask about this process and they won't know what you're talking about. Or they will claim not to know what you're talking about. Because once you go to dealing with life insurance, the bank knows that you know something and you're cutting them out of their interest and of their long-term gains off of you being ignorant enough. And ignorant is not a negative word. Ignorant means you do not know. You're ignorant enough to continue giving them tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars and letting them flip it real time. So you bring in their money. They have a relationship with the insurance company. They take that money to the insurance company, take a loan against it, bring it to a factoring company, and they send that thing out 9 different ways. The same amount you gave them. That's what we learned. We learned throughout Corona that money was fake, that they were writing checks. That when they talking about they got to get approved for a certain amount of money and funding and spending, they're literally saying we might write a check out of thin blue air, generate some numbers in a computer system for you to fund that thing that we said we would fund. So when they were talking about not funding the social spending bill, they didn't have to go discover or figure out how they were going to pay for the money. They just had to decide that they were going to fund it. And they chose not to. So, that's really cut and dry. That's one way to leverage your life insurance. Another way to leverage your life insurance, and the one that I'm keen on telling people about, is as a business owner, your business is like the bank. You have the same ability that the banks have. You just don't have the knowledge or the ability to leverage just yet. So if you run your business off of your profits, what does it profit you? Very little. I promise you. If you're living your life off of your profits, it might profit you a good life, but it does not profit you wealth because you're a parking spot for money. Literally, you're working your life. You're working 2-3 jobs, might be paying taxes at all of them. But guess what? When you go to the store, you pay taxes. On all your bills, you pay taxes. On your clothes, you pay taxes. Your medical bills, some states is waiving taxes on medical, but you're usually paying interest on not being able to pay it on time. Or if you're getting it financed, whatever the situation is, you're paying extra everywhere. We are. Your goal as a business owner to be how do I set up my life to keep more money in my house, to not give the government 30% of what I made or 40% of what I made. And we're kept from this information because, in my opinion, we are still the lifeblood of this country when it comes to the financial stability of it.
True.
If we're paying all the taxes, if you're pulling so much tax from my community, and then the taxes aren't being spent in my community, and then every store I go to is owned by another ethnicity or community, I don't win. I don't win. There's no way to win because there's no way to keep the money in your ecosystem. So what I instruct, what I teach groups and what I teach business owners is how to create financial ecosystems, incorporating life insurance policies, families trust, and all these other things to get that corporate veil required to secure wealth quickly. So a lot of people take, oh, you don't want to pay taxes, don't claim a lot. Make a purchase, buy it off. I say the only purchase you need to make to not pay taxes is life insurance through your business. The only purchase you need to make. I mean, you can purchase real estate. You can do all these other things that add income and accumulate wealth. They do. You should. But when you're talking about holding the money, I had a guy tell me he had to go buy a Lamborghini truck. And I said, you didn't have to buy it. That was the only way you knew to write off that amount of income. And you're not even using the truck to make more money. Because when you watch these other influencers and they tell you they went purchase the vehicle, or they did something, they did it with the exclusive intent of it increasing their views, their likes, their income through these different platforms. They didn't buy the car because they just wanted to look cool. They bought the car because they wanted to look cool, and they knew they would get more views, which would increase their income. So back to the life insurance product, and I'll stick on that. If you run your business and your life on your profits, it profits you very little. But if you set up an ecosystem where you're buying the policy, you maybe buy it with lump sums, and you have an idea of what your operating costs have been for the past year or two, you can then loan yourself your assumed or estimated operating cost. So that way your profits are taxed free because they're being used to pay back the loan you took from yourself. The insurance company, the insurance company has the one contract that exists that nowhere else it exists, where they give you a guarantee return on your money, and they have to. I have a couple companies I'm working with. The one that I'm most familiar with, they give a guaranteed 4% every year on your money. Guaranteed 4%, an average of 6 to 7%. And they have other situations where you can leverage it into the stock market without risking your principal. So it's like, if you don't understand those words, then that means nothing to you. That's just like, whatever, right? But if you understand those words, it's saying, hey, you can build a warehouse for your profits that pays you a guaranteed for an average 6% on your money that allows you to access the money, use the money penalty free. If you own it through your business, now your business is writing that amount off against their taxes. And every year they're able to write more off against their taxes. It's a structure thing. So I said a lot and I said it quickly, but the premise is get a friend that studies to win. Because you can't write life insurance policies if you don't have a life insurance license. And you can't force somebody to give you a deal if they're not willing to. So you can't go tell an agent, I want you to write my policy like boom, boom, boom. They're going to laugh at you. They're really going to laugh at you because at the end of the day, they may not know what you're talking about. They may not have any clue what you're speaking about.
And see, that's what I'm saying. Because like me, I started with Primerica. And then a dude hit me up on LinkedIn and he was like, what type of life insurance policy you got? And I was like, shit, I think I got like term life. I think at the time I had like 500,000 on my Primerica account. So he was like, you might be able to get this. If I could beat the rate that you paying, would you consider doing the shit? So I'm like, all right, fuck it. If you can do that. So, we went through the whole questions that you asked when you're doing life insurance. What's your diet? What type of lifestyle you live? Blah, 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 blah. So I end up getting $1 million policy, and I think what interested me about like when I listen to your shit, because, on your Instagram, you've done videos where it's kind of like, you do your little motivational thing. And, sometimes you mention life insurance, but it's not like super detailed. Like when I tuned into that live, you was going real deep into it, just like what you just said now. Like you was talking about a lot of what you can do as far as leveraging the shit, taking the money out to even start a business. And I'm like, well, shit, nigga, I'm sure my listeners, I've said on my show a couple of times, nigga, as a black person, nigga, have some goddamn life insurance. They shouldn't have a cookout for your motherfucking funeral. They shouldn't have no strippers at no birthday party for your fucking funeral. Nigga, you should at the least have enough life insurance to cover your fucking funeral. Especially if you got pictures with money in your hands sitting on a goddamn BMW hood, nigga.
But
you need to have life insurance.
Let me say this. You can choose to or not, but wealth gonna move. There's a couple things we're not controlling, and that's the laws of the universe and time. So when you're talking, you tell somebody, and they know they need that. They know, and I'm telling them, yo, get it younger. Get the life insurance as young as possible. If you're interested in starting a business, and when I say giving the information for free, they don't want it. They don't want it. They think you're bluffing them. I sat at a restaurant in Monroe, Louisiana, 1601 Plaza Road at Wags Food and Culture throughout the pandemic for a year and a half, free classes every week. No one showed up. And it was literally the restaurant closed at 6, the class started at 6:15. You could get your food and sit in here and eat and learn a little bit, right? But I use that as training. I use that as, practice of the public, how I look. And I realized I didn't like how I looked on camera. So I started working on my physical self. This might look like I'm losing hair, but I had no hair right here, bro. This is me growing hair back. You know what I'm saying? This is me saying my neck was disappearing. I got a neck. This is me saying, how can I tell you health is wealth and wealth is wealth, but I don't look and I don't live to be that example. But also that practice time that I took curating what I needed to say, figuring out how to present it the best. My 9-year-old son was there. Well, he was 7 at the time, making 8, and he's 8, he's 9, now he's going on a 10. And it's like, he could understand it. Once I knew he could understand it, I knew I could speak it out to the world. But you're talking about life and death insurance. I didn't get into life insurance because people was dying. I got into it because after my in-depth research, I realized there was only a few places you could get compounded interest, and all of the places you need an invite. There's nowhere other than life insurance. And even in life insurance, you need an invite, right? But you can still go take your own life insurance license and get licensed independently and then find somebody to give you a contract. But are you getting the knowledge required to properly leverage the policies or teach people how to properly leverage them?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I speak with old cats, OGs. I'm talking about like they're the mayor of the area. And most of them who have life insurance have the same complaint. When it was sold to them when they were very young getting money and they thought they was making a move, it was sold to them by a friend. That friend sold them a script. The policy wound up being bullshit. And now they're older, they don't qualify, and they can't do anything better about it. So you got a cat with 800,000 in holdings that can't get $100,000 life insurance policy. Shit like that. And the person that sold them that life insurance that stuck with it is a millionaire. At any time, that person could have called them and said, hey, I need to give you an insurance review. I know better. I need to sit down with your family, give you an update on how this works and how you can do better. Never did the person do this because they took the script they learned from whatever company I won't name any companies because I'm not about to get played on. But ultimately, they took the script that they were given and fed it to their people. So that's the ultimate blackface, in my opinion. It ain't a white man putting on black paint and coming out. No, it's a white man getting a black man to read the white man's script to black people.
Mm-hmm.
The white look, and the truth is, it's not even racism, it's self-preservation. Yeah. You know, you can call it racism, but it's self-preservation if they firmly believe that you being downtrodden is the reason why they're able to expound and be so abundant. And they do believe that. They truly believe that. But you can't beat the universe. And the universe is on our side and works in our favor because we're the closest thing on this planet to the universe for various metaphysical and mental reasons, right? We know that this is not melanin, this is carbon. We're highly carbonated. So the universe is made of carbon. Everything in the universe consists of it. And we consist of it in the most abundance on this planet. You take that information and you couple it with understanding the movement of money. Because see, I don't study the problems. I study the tools that were used to create the problems so that I can twist that tool and manipulate it to work in my favor for me and mine. Because I don't want to fight you. I want to love you. I could kill a man, but I'd rather love his sister. I'd rather show you how to work for me. And if I see I can't show you, I'd rather remove myself from that situation. But I'm not Martin Luther King at all. I will knock your head off because I believe that God imbued us with the power to protect ours. And we're doing this justice to God when we're not learning what we need to do to protect our wealth and claim it and gain it. All these cats, they gods, they bosses, they ball stuff, they ball and look at their car, I'm like, yo, that's cute. But I didn't buy a Cadillac as a status symbol. I bought it because it was the cheapest thing on the lot that could get me from A to B with the leather that I'm comfortable in, with the gas mileage that I was looking for, low miles, nice price. But ultimately, if you know that this has been used and fixated in your people's mind, you're doing yourself wrong for not getting nice things and moving in a certain capacity, right? But it's not I'm spending my profits on these things. I now learn how to leverage through business to get these nice things and still be available to my people.
Yeah, I seen a lot of that about like G-Wagons. Like I guess the weight of a G-Wagon or some shit that you use to get like a tax cut because of the weight of the vehicle. And like even I think like S-Class Benzes, because I don't know how it is all over the country, but out here in California, you see Asians driving them motherfuckers everywhere. You see the whatever the brand new S-Class is, you see a zillion of them motherfuckers in. But one of my Armenian homies told me some tax shit that got them buying them motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's the tax thing, but it's the fact that most foreign nationals, the only way they can get money is through starting their own business. The only way they can be successful, and you got to think, they're already coming from a foreign place, so they understand foreign exchange. I'm glad you brought that up because I'm going to speak about foreign exchange. They know about foreign exchange naturally. As kids, they know their parents had to change money, and they're with their parents turning and changing money and sending money back home just for the money to be deposited in an account so they can use checks and cards from that account. They're not spending the American dollar, right? They're shipping it somewhere where it's valued more and they're able to get more spending power and then using it here. So I tell people, you need medication, and I learned this from my son having cancer and from researching it. If you need medication, get you a VPN on your computer and go buy it from Canada. Get it shipped to your house. If you need any type of medication, from cancer treatment to AIDS to skincare to diabetes, whatever, get you a VPN, put it on your computer, and purchase it from Europe. Purchase it from purchase it from anywhere but America, and you're going to get damn near 90% off, 95% discount. You're paying 10 cents a pill instead of $9. We are the only people being raped, and that's some more information. Like, well, I'm gonna tell you, on my road to becoming informed, I learned so much shit that I did not know what to do with. But now that I found my purpose, all of this information plays into my wealth. All of this information plays into my consulting business being what it is, and me being a great asset to my business owners, right? And I only speak to business owners. The reason why is because even if you're a 9-to-5er, you own a business. You're just not running it well. Even if you go and clock in at Walmart, guess what? You run a business, your house, your family. That's your business. You're just not running it well. Like, I'm in here now. My office is disheveled. Everything's everywhere. I haven't set it up. But we about to start packing and getting stuff together to move into a home. But also, I've been on the road. My priority wasn't come here, let me make sure everything neat. No, it's not filthy. I know where my work stuff is at, but my priority is building. Because guess what? Next week, I can call so-and-so to come clean the house up. I can make the money to afford someone else to do the things that don't make money. You know what I mean? And one thing about that foreign exchange, I've added that to my consulting business, a Forex academy. Instead of all these people in your inbox trying to rob you and telling you, send me this kind of money and I'll send you back 2,000. And, I said, well, how do you learn it? Because y'all keep telling me about sending y'all some money and trust a stranger and give you my cash app. Where do I go? I'm talking about there's no schools for it. So when I finally found someone who had an actual academy type basis where they had all these learning and training and demo accounts, I jumped on it and it wound up being authentic. They were literally like, you're paying a college tuition. You're paying it like you're paying college tuition, but at a very small price. Because anybody been to college knows it's super expensive. And you're learning what you need to learn. And once you think you know enough, you can stop paying that tuition and go figure it out on your own. But why would you? When you can say, hey, let me get my little people and put them into it. Let me go get my little cousin who like playing on a computer and get him into it. Soon as my nephew make 18, my oldest son, I'm getting him on it. He's 19. He's on board this week. But my nephew, he makes 18 September 1st. He graduated from high school. He on his way to college, but he can't open his own funding account till he's 18. It's like, instead of giving you my money and hoping you're honest, no, I'm going to take the time, 1 hour, 2 hours a day, learn it, and move my own money, because the shit is like a video game. Blew my mind. And we never played video games growing up. We grew up the real type of poor. You know what I'm saying? We grew up when you was working at 7. You were working in the Bengal hall at 8. You was going to work with your mom and sitting in the car. You know what I'm saying? But it's like saying, when I know somebody pressing 2-3 buttons on their phone and pulling $2,000-$3,000 out of a hole, and I'm a hustler, I come from hustling. I know you can put money in a hole. Like I said, I sell life insurance. I know you can have one meeting that change your whole career. One meeting the right biz person, signing the right policy, all of a sudden you're a millionaire off of association, off of affiliation, off of literally knowing enough to position yourself to bless somebody with something they didn't know. Right? Then that's all I've been adding. I've been adding these different caveats to me, because who's competing against the scammers? We could talk about all these different things we put money into and they took our money and they weren't authentic, but we never really have a counter. It's never like, well, and then I found this one thing that was real. It's always like, man, they took my money, I ain't messing with it no more.
Man, that's literally what made, like, because if you notice my Instagram, I don't follow everybody back. Oh, like I tell niggas I don't give a fuck. Like when people be like, hey man, follow me back. For what, nigga? Who are you? Like, and a million motherfuckers, you know, I'm sure you even get it on your Instagram who follow you. Oh, this is such and such Forex professional. I'm usually blocking them accounts. It's 1,000 of them motherfuckers. Oh,
you got to, they're all scammers.
financial expert. I can teach you money, this. But I checked your page and it was actually you speaking. You sitting in the car making videos saying, look, nigga, this is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. This is the rundown. So I followed you back because I'm like, okay, this is at least he a real person. At least, like it was even times when I would see you come in my lives or comment on my posts. So it's like, okay, he's actually a human being. He ain't trying to get over on a nigga or play the game or do some dumb shit, because it's a million motherfuckers on the internet that's playing the, hey man, send me some money.
They learn to be scammers and don't even realize it. They in scamming school 101 and don't even realize it.
Yeah, like I can teach you how to do Forex. Like, nah, nigga, I'm not playing with you. Who the fuck are you? It be an Instagram model's pictures saying that I could teach you. Like, I'm a financial expert. I'm a bad bitch with a fat fake ass, but I'm a financial expert too. I'm like, yeah, bitch, send me some news so I know it's real.
But let me see your titties. Fruit. They know send me some titties. You know what I do? I call them all. I call them on Instagram calling when they say they're in my inbox and I get them to go back and forth. I press that face call button, because if you're real, you're going to answer. Because if you call me and I'm able to, I'm answering it. Even if I don't know who's calling me, I know that it's a FaceTime. I'm going to see a person when I answer it. Now, I don't answer every call come through my loan. It's a business line. Some of the stuff goes to the answer machine, but I have the service that shows me people's names. So even if you're not in my list, I'm going to see who you are. Now, they've made it bad for people who want to know, because you're going to run into a bunch of unauthentic, scamming ass, fake page people. Yeah. And usually you do what you do. I'm going to cut you all off. And you know what? I'm going to cut you all off. And I'm not entertaining this because it's ludicrous. It's dumb. Now, how many? And I get them every day. And I like it now. I have to curve my energy and say, I'm liking that you're reaching out to me because I know who to block.
Exactly. Because
I know who to block.
Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, fuck all these motherfuckers.
But I've been getting active. I blew a whole account. I blew a whole Instagram account because of scammers. And it was like I had close to 10,000 followers and stuff, but it was like I didn't see people. I didn't see Too Much Game podcast. I didn't see Charles. I saw all these different weird Africans and Indians, and I'm like, I don't know these people. It's not my audience. These people won't buy life insurance from me. Right? So I started a new page, and now I'm very particular about who I follow. And, anybody can follow me. I don't care. But I'm very particular about who I follow because I want to connect with my business owners. I want to connect with the people I care for. I want to see that my little cousin, baby, healthy. I want to see that my partner had his anniversary. And when you choose to have these big Instagram followings, you don't see those people. You do not see those people. You do not get to connect authentically with the people you love. I got several businesses.
Just as a little break in the shit, the reason I'm not saying shit, and this is something that I always talk about in this show, is when you coming into anything in the position of a student, shut the fuck up. Like, I understand that this is my show and y'all come to hear me talk my shit, but an episode like this, it's like I gotta let him give y'all as much value as I could give to y'all. Like, nigga, the reason I had him on, not so y'all could hear me entertain with a nigga who just sitting on the screen next to me and shit. Like, hey, who's the other guy? Like, nigga, I literally want to get everything I could get from him. So the reason y'all niggas ain't gonna hear my voice a lot in this motherfucker is because I'm literally learning like y'all learning. Yeah. So
and that's why I'm shutting the fuck up. I appreciate that. You know how many people I reach out to ignore me? How many people I reach out to genuinely even saying, hey, I see you got 100,000 followers. Can I pay you for 5 minutes talking on your page and you keep it there? No, they ignore me. I see them saying like this one, and I'm not gonna say her name, but this one lady, she's a teacher and she built this following as a real authentic teacher. I know teachers don't get no money. So I say, hey, can I get a meeting with you? Because I'm working to put together an elite student program. And it really benefit me to have teachers on staff already to tell me what it costs. Because guess what? If the school paying you $30,000, $35,000, $40,000, say they paying you $50,000. What if I got 10 parents to pay you $10,000 a piece? And instead of teaching 31 random, 32, 45 students, you're teaching 10 students of varying ages and you're making 100 racks. Then I show you how to put it through life insurance to not have to pay taxes on that 100 rags, teacher. You're so smart. You're dumb. You're institutionalized, not realizing the system you worked in was constructed to keep people small, marginalized, and not growing wealth. Think about that in school. Everything's social until it's test time. How the hell are you going to give me a test by myself, but you taught us together? Jeffrey answered that question. I didn't answer that question. What makes you think I know the answer when it comes test time? But that's just, that's just the, back to the life insurance. I can get on a caveat about it, but it's back to saying, if we're not building the communities we want to see, if we're not doing the work of nation building, and I'm not talking about marching, I'm not talking about Black power, I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about the literal wealthy decision of informing yourself of the movement of money and how to better facilitate the movement of money within your financial ecosystem. So if it's hiring 2 teachers and paying them more than a living wage and putting a system together where my son, who's a 5'1" 9-year-old, can now do 2-a-day trainings, go to school for 4 hours in the middle of the day, and he's graduating from high school. He's not even a super genius. He won't be, but he can graduate high school at 15, 16, and enter into a college program, owning his own brand and having to be paid for his brand, choosing to go to that college. The college is not scouting the son at that point. He's scouting my son's brand. And to take on my son's brand is to say, hey, I'll let him come to your college if y'all let us do all your practice workouts. If you let my son's brand represent all the socks you wear. Like, we're not even coming in asking for everything. We coming in asking for small things. Because guess what? If you give me a crumb, I can get the cake. I only need a crumb. I only need a crumb to know what ingredients are in that cake. I don't need the whole cake, right? Give me a crumb and watch what I do.
All you need is a foot in the door, dog. That's it.
So it's a build out. It's years of planning that lead me here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And and that's the thing. Like I said, the reason I'm shutting the fuck up is to get the value out of this shit. Right. Like, it's a lot of motherfuckers who I talk to on the show all the time. Like, as far as, I tell niggas, how to deal with people, how to deal with relationships, nigga, how to, basically your regular life game, like, nigga, just the day to day. But when it comes to the financial shit, right, that ain't really my strong point. Like, how I make money, I work for my money. I hustle for my money. I'm not well versed on wealth. The reason that I brought you on, the reason that I was so excited to have you, the reason that, I don't even promote my show before I do them. 9 times out of 10, I'm just like, hey, nigga, doing a show. But this time I'm like, y'all, if y'all niggas listen to one episode, this motherfucker, right, it's gonna be the one, because the one thing that Black people, I feel, need is the ability to manage wealth, the ability to create, generate, and keep wealth. And this is why I had you, because that's what you was talking about in that live that I was watching. Right. Using your life insurance policy to have the money to start a motherfucking business. A lot of niggas got a million ideas and no way to start the shit. Like, man, if I had $20,000, oh man, I'd be able to do this. If I had 30,000, if I had 50,000. And from what you were saying, it sounds like you can create that shit. Like, there you go, nigga. Now
literally, and this is what they all overlook. We overlook credentials and we overlook paperwork, right? So when I'm telling someone, and when I was telling them before the PP thing, I've been studying the movement of money. Before I got my license in insurance, insurance gave me a behind the curtain look at it. I sit in trainings that only wealth managers get to sit in, and they teach you tactics and things for your own business that technically you're not supposed to be sharing out, right? Like, I don't study how to sell life insurance. I learned life insurance in 2 weeks. It took me 2 weeks to learn life insurance, but the actual movement of money and the development of wealth. And I say the development of it because it takes a developed person that's constantly working on themselves to properly assess and gain wealth. So if I'm saying what I know now, I didn't know 5 years ago, and what I'll know 5 years from now will far surpass what I know now. But I know enough now to take a person who wants to do it and is willing to do it and turn them into a profitable business. These people who tell you if they only had this, if they only had that, they don't know how to make money. I promise you, you can give them $1 million, they're going broke because they're not studying how to make money. They're just wishing and hoping something fall in their lap. Like, and I tell these guys when they won't try to talk to me about gaining wealth, Everything I tell them about is getting their paperwork together, getting their credentials together, and they do not do it. I'll see them again. Next time I see you, I'm gonna have that. And I see them again and they don't have it. When the PPP dropped, that first one, I said, hey, if you ain't been in business, don't go after that. You committing fraud. You got to lie to get that. Anything you have to lie to get isn't worth getting. I promise you. Because the legit way was, now you see how they fishing, go start you an EIN and the LLC. So when 2021 come around, anyone with the EIN and the LLC qualified for PPP money legally and didn't know it. And it was they had so many scare tactics based around it. A lot of people were just afraid to touch the money. And I was helping people get 2 and 3 of them. Like straight up, I was like, yo, this isn't fraud. This is what they've done to help you through a hard time. And the reason why it's available to you, because they had to make it available to everyone so that they could help white people. They couldn't put something out that said this just for white business owners. It had to be for any and every business owner who had the intentions or the actual follow through to start a business.
I talk that shit to a million people, dog. Scare money don't make money. It's a lot of motherfuckers in these little suburban neighborhoods who y'all see, because you know you had the scared niggas who was like, man, you know that money this and that money that, and like I was telling them, I'm like, nigga, if you got a hair business, you can get that. If you got a trucking company, you can get that. If you got a boutique or anything that you legally doing in business, you can go get that, because a lot of them motherfuckers, back when they had that commercial with the white man with the green suit with the little money signs on it, a lot of them motherfuckers know how to get that little government money, nigga, and they out getting it, nigga. This is exactly what that is. This is just the one.
Think about it like this. This isn't getting government money. This is literally getting money that was facilitated for Americans to stay in business while they were figuring it out. We weren't doing good business. Our CPAs weren't doing good business. So when it came time to get it, all they knew how to do was scam. They didn't know the logistics behind getting it done. Hey, baby, how you feeling? My little baby love me. She know how to open doors now, so I can't keep out. Now go back.
Hey, how you doing?
Close the door. Thank you.
But yeah, man, that's the thing, dog. Like it's a lot of motherfuckers that know how to play the game, and it's a lot of motherfuckers that don't know how to play the game. The reason that we lose a lot of times is because we literally just don't know how to play.
We don't know, but let me tell you, this is all learned behavior. This isn't an accident that you don't know. Like, it's not an accident we don't know how to work together or create partnerships. It's not an accident that the only people in our communities that use corporate veils are scammers. Not understanding that you no longer have to be a black man in business. You do not have to say, I'm black, that's why they don't want to give me the money. And no, you can start an anonymous entity owned by a holding company, owned by a family trust. And all of that costs you less than $500 to structure. Now, let's double it back. You go into work, you're a 9 to 5. Say you're 19. I'm gonna just use a 19-year-old that's making a little bit of nothing. I know, put your Crocs on, but you see me working, babe. Be respectful.
Man, mine doing the same thing. You just ask
at the end of the day, you teach them what you need them to know. You don't coddle it. You set them in the right direction, because eventually you won't have to tell them. They'll know what's up. She has a lip gloss company, and I don't push the lip gloss company like that big, because I didn't start it for me to push it. I started it because just like she's going to grow into an adult, that company is going to grow. And when she takes over, it's going to have established financials. It's going to be a more than established business with established financials and qualifying for funding. My baby's a trust fund baby. My baby's a trust fund baby. And at the end of the day, Danny, you can let her come in. You can let her come in, but she was quiet.
Man, I know exactly what that is.
That's why I don't force her. That's why I talk to her. I give her instructions, because it's just like anything in life. You want somebody forcing you out of a place? You want somebody pushing you into somewhere? That baby's a person, and they feel the same way. They just don't know how to communicate. Yeah. Right? So I kind of look at it like, when I'm dealing with these business owners, okay, I'm going to be real patient. But if you're ignorant and I see you lean to ignorance, I'm not about to gravitate with you too much. I'm going to tell you what's up. I'm going to let you disrespect me, and I'm going to slide on you. But if you're a good business owner and I see that you mean well, your trust is where it's at, because you had to go through a lot of people taken from you to get to where you knew how to earn it and keep it. Yeah. So when I come in, I'm telling you, hey, let me show you how to attain wealth and how to build this and how to not pay taxes. I know it sounds fictitious. I know it sounds like some pie in the sky ass dream, but you were already smart enough to start your own business. You were already smart enough to know that you needed to be your own boss. Now you also smart enough to know that's how you got scammed. because you knew you needed to be adding information to your person. You know you needed to be taking courses or learning from someone. There's too many gurus and mentors out here that can read it out of a book, but they can't show you the actual results from them doing it. And if they can, they're not good people. It's like they adopted that cutthroat mentality. So when we go back to life insurance, when I say,
but hey, let me stop and interrupt. My homeboy said, "What about the IUL?"
The IUL, and I won't speak in a negative tone about it. I'm gonna say the Index Universal Life Policy is good for a couple years while you're young, cool. But it's not built for the wealth accumulation or the wealth maintaining that you would think, because you have to continue paying into the market. And when you can't pay your premiums, it takes away from that cash value that you accumulated, along with taking away from that. And you see this funny, I could have sold you, I sell IULs. I could have came on here and told you all the beautiful things about an IUL. I'm going to tell you the reasons why it may not work for you. Because when you're 60, 70, and you say, I'm not working no more, I don't have the 10, 15, 20,000 to put into this thing. Guess what? You still got to come up with 10, 15, 20,000. And it's going to come from that cash value that is accumulated over time, right? But there's a company I'm working with. I got to take their training tomorrow. They say they got an index whole life. Now that's what I'm interested in, because the index whole life would mean that I can put my money in there. My principal's 100% protected, and they're only investing the dividend and interest I get paid on my money. And that right there is what I'm interested in. But the IUL, if you're making good money right now, get you one, throw you some money in it for 5 or 10 years, then draw down all your money and make a different move. Because if you're reading the contract correctly and you're working with a mutual company, you'll see that you're no longer a vested member of the company. The only policies that these companies have that make you a vested member, meaning you get paid dividend along with interest on your money. You get paid interest, and when the company declares dividend, you get paid that also, are mutual companies. And these mutual companies may cost you a little more, but now you're part owner of the company. And if you're doing what I'm telling you to do, they're paying you more than you're paying them. The IUL is for someone, if you're doing 10, 15, 20,000 a week, hey, if you're doing 30,000 a month, hey, but do not intend for that to be your final life insurance policy, because when you stop putting in that 10,000 a month, it's eating away at that cash value and that death benefit. You could have an IUL that did well for 30 years and still, pass away with nothing, because the policy wasn't structured how it needed to be. So the people selling you on IULs, and these gonna be some agents that don't like me, I don't care. Because if y'all got it in this to really hustle off the backs of people, y'all need to get out the door. Especially, you can debate me about it. We can debate all day. You're not gonna beat me, because they get paid every time a transaction is made on that account. What do I mean? So the IUL is monthly, porting money over into investments. Every time that money is ported over or put into those investments, that agent gets paid a commission. The company gets processing fees. So when you actually look at the interest that's being paid, now this interest is hidden interest. Now you're talking about the true cost of insurance. You're actually losing more. You're losing more than you're gaining over time. That same money that they told you to put into an IUL, I say give all of it to yourself through some form of whole life, custom whole life, or regular whole life. Because at that point, you're just paying yourself, putting your money in a position to get 4 to 8%, and still having the ability to go access that money and get an IUL. Still have money to access that money and go purchase the asset. And no other situation allows for that. So though I do sell IULs and I probably make the most commission off of pimping an IUL, I don't care. I just told you I could start a business. The business can make revenue. I could put the money in the business first year, and by the second year, be all profit, not paying taxes. I got several businesses. My wife owns an IT firm. I have several offerings. All of this adds to a knowledge base that allows me to accumulate wealth, but also affords me the benefit of being honest about they tell you the steak. They tell you the smoke and how good the steak gonna be. They never tell you about how bad that steak gonna be passing through your system. They never tell you about how long that steak set out in the open air before they decided to cook it. Like, and that's what a lot of life insurance is about. That's a lot of sales is about in general. Sales is an emotional process usually when people spending money. But the truth is, we make a lot of money in our community. We spend a lot of money in our community, but we have broken trust. So when it comes to somebody telling you, hey, you've been using the wrong banking system your whole working career. If you have a child, teach them this banking system, because it might be too expensive for you to get into it. But if I get my child into understanding how to pay themselves, how to take the money once a year during tax mitigation season, which is October to December, take that money and put that money in a life insurance. Now my business can curb its tax liability, but now I'm paying myself a portion of my income. That 18, 19-year-old that's making a little bit of nothing, putting 10, 20% of that money into their policy makes them independent financially by 30, by 35, literally, because this same money is used to purchase assets that bring in an income. When I talked about the old cat, the OG, over 800,000 in holdings, and he's probably worth more if you put all of his stuff he owned together.
And holdings, by holdings, you mean like liquid assets that he has on hand, or something that's in his life insurance policy?
Everything. When I say holding, I mean everything. When I say it's assets, I'm talking about everything included, right? But in this particular position, I'm speaking about his
net worth.
I'm talking about his complete net worth, but also I'm speaking about the property. He has about over 800,000 in value in the properties he's owned. And I can't tell him how to beat the insurance company when it comes to P&C, property and casualty. But I can tell him, hey, while that property still has value, because the insurance company down in the South talking about they don't want to cover the flood insurance, it's hurricane season, they know it's going to be a bad one. So they done ran the deductibles up to like $26,000 for one home. You got to have $26,000 worth of damage on that home before they give you a dollar. And you got to, I say, hey, while it still has value, pool all that stuff together, leverage it for a loan to go purchase a cash heavy asset in another location that's not in this flood zone. And what is that?
You can use like homeowners insurance the same way you can use life insurance?
No, this is not about using homeowners insurance. That they made the homeowners insurance so expensive, a lot of people can't afford it. So if I got 9 houses, all in the same hurricane zone, all in the same flood zone, they all get flooded out, washed out at the same time because the storm hit the same location. I got to pay $26,000 times 9 on those houses before my insurance company give me any money. Now, if you're just a regular person, you don't have 26 times 9, which is like $230,000 for $35,000 off the top of my head. I'm probably a little over, a little under, but it's around there.
Yeah.
It's like that's a lot of bread to come out of pocket to repair the houses. By the time they're fixed, guess what? It's hurricane season again. So having just enough isn't enough. You got to say, while this stuff still has value, before the wind come blow it down, let me take that value, leverage it for a loan, take that loan and go purchase a cash bearing asset like a storage facility. Average storage facility 1.2, 1.5. But guess what? The average storage facility makes a minimum of $50,000 a month. And that's 500 units. Damn. Yeah. So think about a person. You say
like the U-Haul storage place.
They killing. They're making a killing, bro. And then they'll put a toilet in there and they'll make one room like it's living, and they get residential tax credits and things of this nature. You got to think they're running an automated lighting system. They're not running too much water because they probably got one toilet and one sink, but they probably only have 3 employees: day shift, weekend shift, maintenance man. Right? But if I'm not telling you this exists, you don't know. If I'm not telling you, because think about it like this: with insurance, I show you how to write the policies. I show you how to leverage your money in there. But if you're not using it, you're losing it. So if you haven't been studying these things, you might be difficult for you to get your mind around it after a couple of years of making good money. So with my consulting firm, I help people think. I help them leverage what they have and what they know to do more in a shorter period of time. And it works. It works. I have several millionaire clients that honestly didn't know what they were worth until they met me. They didn't know that they was 20 million strong. They didn't know they were 30 million strong. They didn't know the true movement of their money until they met me. And that gave me confidence. That made me feel like, okay, what I'm doing works. Because if this lady has millions and she's cash heavy and she's pulling $100K a month and she trusts me to show her something, and let's be real, she gave me a blessed accounts, like the one woman in particular, there's a couple of them, but the one lady, she gave me accounts that blessed my business. But that was her just giving me a little spoon. That's her spoon feeding me.
Yeah.
Right? To see if I'm authentic, to see if I'm who I'm supposed to be. But you spoon fed me and made me number 1 in my company last year. So what happened when you give me the bucket? What happened when you actually trust me to come in and do what I need to do? Oh shit, we rolling. We're not just rolling. We're competing against the scammers with a real product.
Exactly. And see, again, like I told y'all, the reason that I'm quiet, and I wish I'd have said this in the beginning of the motherfucking show.
Right.
Hopefully you motherfuckers are still here, nigga. Slow this motherfucker down. If you listening on Spotify and a lot of these podcasts, but you can literally slow this motherfucker down to like half speed, 0.75% speed. So you can literally take notes of a lot of this shit. Because what I really wanted to do having him on is give you niggas actual actionable fucking shit that you can use in real life for real life application, not just some shit that's gonna be like, man, what you said made me feel good. That was what I needed to hear. I'm not gonna let that bitch treat me this way. I'm not gonna let these niggas talk to me funny. You literally like, nigga, I can actually do this to help me in something I was doing wrong financially. I got life insurance. I can actually use this shit to go buy my first tractor on my big rig trucking company.
But
I
let
can
me tell you this. Let me tell you what you can do also. And this is, I said I don't speak 9 to 5ers, but I do, because I told you everyone's a business owner. So if someone's working a 9 to 5 and they want to do their own business and they want to move in a certain capacity, or say there's maybe 2-3 people in their house working a 9 to 5, start the business, license through the state, get the IN, open a business bank account, write the contract between you and your business or whoever else is going to be making deposits and your business as an angel investor. This is another way to do it before you get into the life insurance side of it. Now, that way, your business, when it does make profit, that's not even good. I'm skipping something. So you started the business bank account, and you started feeding financials. While you were feeding the financials, which is making stagnated deposits into your account. So you're taking care of your bills and you're saying, I have a contract. I'm an angel investor in my business. I put 20% of my income into my business every month. No, I don't know what we're going to sell. And no, I don't know what we're going to source our products from. And no, I don't know any of that. But I do know that I'm starting a business and I'm feeding the financials so that it will be financially strong when I'm ready, when I do know. I don't have to go now and go figure out where to get the money from. And this is how this works. Okay, so feeding the financials and you're making stagnated deposits, meaning it's not like you got your check, you took the whole check, put it there, and every 2 weeks you make a deposit. That's only 2 deposits a month. Stagnated deposits is every couple of days you're making a wire transfer, you're making a physical in-person deposit. Now, if it's 3 of y'all doing this to one account, oh shit, you're rolling, because now that account is getting these varying deposits with very little withdrawal. So even in that aspect, you're not going to start deposit using debit cards from that bank account. You're going to get the business credit card that's offered to you. And that's what you're going to make your business transactions and purchases through. If your money runs thin and you're like, damn, I done put all the money over there. How do I? Guess what? Write a check to yourself, write a contract. You can template a contract saying that your business is paying back part of the loan. Right? Right? Okay. So this is, anybody can do this. Anyone can do this. And they create business financials. Now, don't take the advice or take the money and not take the advice. Because think about it like this: you can get all that money and blow all that money on thinking somebody told you, and you can put it in Bitcoin and now it shoots to the moon. Well, no. Now what you can do is take your time. You got up to 3 years really to learn. So when I'm talking about learning about foreign exchange, learn about the moving of money, find a situation like the one I'm with. Contact me so I can plug you in. And now you can take the classes learning how to grow money. Now you can take the classes and your business pays for it. Guess what? That's a business write-off. All of these expenses. And guess what? You're still going to your 9 to 5. You haven't done anything in this business except created financials and created contracts to stipulate where that money was coming from legally while you're coming up and while you're looking. Because guess what? It might just be a holding company. And this holding company is building its financials and accumulating funds so that when it comes across a piece of land, it has the buyer or the bankability to go purchase that land. It has the ability to make the purchase that puts them in a spot. Because guess what's coming? Electric trucks, electric freight liners. Guess what's coming? Solar everything.
Yeah.
So if I know this is coming, why would I not position myself to benefit from it in the future? Because 10 years ago, I was alive and didn't know I would be here today. 10 years from now, I might not be here, but I just might be here. And I want it to be better than my past 10 years. So I said that because I feel like I speak fast. We're from the South, from New Orleans, we speak fast. But I said that because I didn't want anybody to get out of this nothing. I didn't want anybody to come in here like, well, you don't talk to 9 to 5s. Well, you don't. I just told something they could do completely free. Well, not free. It's very low cost. But to do it is to create money that you can then use. And I don't say spend it in your business. I say purchase assets that your business now owns. The funding you get can buy anything from vending machines to digital assets, or a big one. And Why would I give you this information? Because the market is so big, all of us can do well. So if it's creating digital books, audio books, there's apps that help you do that. And I won't mention any of them that I'm using until they approve me an affiliate code. But you can literally just talk into it. And like what you do, Dolomite, do. Record it into the app also. They will write it out. You literally, if you're speaking for an hour and a half every week on your podcast doing your thing, guess what? That's a book a week. That's 4 to 5 books a month. Taking that same content, putting it to YouTube and breaking it down. So if it's a 30-minute video, breaking that 30-minute video down to 3-minute segments. Now I got 10 videos. That's 10 pieces of content instead of one. Well, I only need them to watch, I think 30 or 40% of the video for me to get credit or get paid for them watching it. Well, shit, they only needed to watch a minute and a half versus having to watch 15 minutes. It's strategy that we miss when we move. But ultimately, if a person not making the moves, none of this strategy shit mean nothing. Nothing I say will help them, and nothing I can do for them will help. If you don't know how to make money, don't ask nobody for some money.
Yeah,
I can get my contact information, but that's really what I got for you today, boss. I appreciate the opportunity because I really enjoy watching your content. And I hope Smash watching it. Smash, don't reach out to me. I'm not coming on your podcast.
dog.
I'm gonna say it first and not last, because what you don't understand is what everybody else tries to tell you, that there is a code to being a man and living life, and there's no love all around that. There's no. I'm sorry. You know why I said that? Because I watched that. I said it because I want him to be mad. Because I like when he get mad and do his little rants, like people care about his anger. But it's like, dude, you got on something, exposed the problem you had, and real men gave you advice, and everything they told you for as good advice, you had something counter to it. It's like you got a problem for every solution type mindset, right? So I just wanted to say that because I noticed that he'll piggyback certain things and he'll be smashed the great tomorrow, but I pick on people. I'm sorry. Like I'm that way. Like I got brothers, and my brothers know if you won't know what somebody made of, give them some money or start a fight with them. That's the two ways. You're gonna give them some money, you're gonna see who they are, or you're gonna pick at them. They're gonna handle it like me because I don't mind apologizing. I'm quick. I apologize. I was out of place. But if I did it on purpose, I would still apologize because I'm not here to get you in a conflicted, violent place. I need to know who you are before I incorporate you in anything I do when it comes to making money, making moves, or letting my children know that I affiliate with you. Last thing I need my son to say is, why are you hanging with suckers, daddy? Why are you dealing with losers, daddy?
Man, I'm sorry. Association, dog. You are who you associate with.
You are who you rock with. As father advocacy, we got a cat in New Orleans ran for mayor, and his mother's a great public leader. And he always say that you are who you rock with, and there's no way around that. You know, you wouldn't be comfortable with them if that's not how you rock. You know, so I'm not gonna hold you, man. I'm gonna give. Can I get my contact information for I bounce?
By all means, please do that. That's lit. Like as I'm looking at, I'm like, damn, he got the perfect fucking timing. Like he must be looking at the clock, because damn, exactly.
Well, it's
knowing you got it perfect. But please give your contact.
And it's time budgeting because my family still need. Like my little baby came in here, I can't tell her, look, I don't want to bother with you because I'm doing this. Because guess what? Once I got this all going, she ain't gonna want to be bothered with me. You feel me? You teach them how to love you by how you love them. So it's Mr.Brown_life agent on Instagram. It's Nathan Brown on all other platforms. My website is nfbrown.org. It's a general page for life insurance. It's not going to give you all this intricate stuff I'm talking about because these are really industry secrets. I have a brand called Pray Bigger. We'll be pushing that better and more. And also a YouTube page. On the YouTube page, you go search channels. It's from babies to banks. I have terms and definitions on there right now for us with life insurance. And I'm working with other creators because instead of me, one person attempting to get a market share, my idea is to get the personal trainers, get the mindset trainers, get the masseuse, and get these people all creating content, and we put it in one place. We put it in one place, and we can tell by the analytics who's getting what and who would get the share of what profits, right? And creating the community you want to see, you got to take action. So that's my business cell is 504-920-5071. You can text me or call me however you see fit. I know how not to answer the phone. I know how to hang up when it's not real and authentic. We can do this more again. There's way more information. You got to know there's so much more information to being in business. Another thing I'll say, because it was told to me, is if you're going into business, license your name. My name is licensed, Nathan Brown LLC, but also copyright your name. And there's a contract. I don't know the stipulations. I got it in one of these files I got to go over tomorrow, that you write out connected to licensing your name that prohibits people from suing you. Didn't know it existed, but it prohibits people from using your name in any type of legal action against you. I learned that. I shared that because that's what the scammers going to do. They're going to say, oh, he competing against us. Oh, we know how to sue him, and we know how to do this and that. We know how to make his life so difficult. Why would he want to help people? We're going to force him back into a dark hole so we could continue shining in the light and hurting people. And I'm not having it. I promise you, I'm not having it. They've never met me. They've never met a Mr. Brown like me, but they don't need to. Wait, I got music available too. You know what? We'll speak again. I got a lot of stuff.
Dog, this ain't the last time you coming on this motherfucker. Like, the people who know the guests that I've had, a lot of the guests that I've had have come on multiple times. I've had niggas come on 2 or 3 times. Yeah. You for sure, the door open.
It's a lot. So, it's a lot of information. I swear, but I appreciate that, man. You're a blessing. You're a blessing. I'm licensed in California, but you're a big blessing. Make some time tomorrow. I can go through what they gave you for as policy. Honestly, you don't need to make no time. You got my phone number. Screenshot that first page you have. That first summary page you have, I can pretty much sum up what you got going on, and if you have a best deal and how you can get a better deal out of what you have. Because quite often you'll have the policy, but it's not structured for your benefit.
Yeah.
That's why he's able to give you a better price, because he structured it in a way where you're paying for life versus the policy paying you for life.
Yeah. And shit, I just want to see what's up with that. How I can pull the money out, because I'm trying to get me some Airbnbs or some shit like that, you know. So
yeah,
we definitely gonna talk personally. Like I said, I just want to have you on because, you know, the financial shit, that's not my strong point. Like, I could admit that's not my thing. I know how to make money as far as work, but as far as like creating, generating, and keeping wealth, it ain't my strength. So having you on here was dope. I'm for sure gonna have you back on to go more in depth on certain shit. Yeah, man, I ain't got no problem with the shameless plug. Plug everything you can.
Very big. The store's not even open. My store is closed because I'm waiting for the trademark paperwork to come back on and stuff. Once you know you got something hot, license it. Once you know you got something people love and want, license it. Contract that, because they'll steal it. They'll steal you all day, make you pay for your own name. Ask Kevin Gates.
Man, ask a million athletes who had they shit.com and had to buy they .com back.
Yeah. So you be blessed, Bo. I appreciate it. Obviously, I'm always involved in the content, and we'll talk more this week because I got a lot of stuff going on that you're going to benefit from.
Yeah, text me everything that you need as far as links so I could put it in the show notes so everybody can know how to contact you, because I'm putting in the show notes and everything. And I'm going to try to like either send you the whole episode audio or video wise, depending on what you want to do with it. But, you know, I'm going to make sure you got that.
Well, I'm not together. Next time you see me, I'll have my merch on. The background will be different. Honestly, we're getting the house built. So when I get to where I'm going from here, I'm going to build a studio. Like I was big for that, building recording studios. Whenever I move somewhere, I just knew I wasn't going to be here long enough to do all that. Like, we got Pro Tools, we run mics, we got the lighting, we do everything we need to do to be prepared and to be competitive versus crying about what we don't have and acting like we can't do it. Like, yeah, whatever. I got an engineering degree and I'll never work as an engineer.
Well, shit, man. Well, whenever you ready, the door open. Just know that, like, you know, long as we can make it make sense, let me know in advance, because, you know, I don't even usually schedule my shows. I usually just do these motherfuckers whenever I feel like it.
Yeah, I done seen you on like a Tuesday, like a big, like just random day of the week.
Saying, like, man, oh shit, I'm available. My kids ain't here. I got time. Let me hurry up and bang an episode out. This one, I'm like, nigga, I have to respect this man's time. This is
I want you to go check it out and critique me. I need you to go critique me. I need you to check it out because I'm gonna watch it, but I need you to critique me because it's like saying I'm about to hit a bunch of podcasts and I want to make sure I'm getting the message across. I know I was pretty wordy today and I spoke kind of fast today, so it's working on all those things that make us more competitive.
Yeah, you know? Man, you kept that shit on time, and again, you can't talk too fast because nowadays these podcasts, but you can literally slow these motherfuckers down. You can pause it, rewind it.
You're right.
It's a podcast. This ain't live radio, so you can talk as fast as you want to. So that's honestly a good thing. We got a whole lot of value in this hour that you was here. Yeah. So I just appreciate the fact that you talk fast. You didn't talk slow. You didn't bore these niggas. because you know motherfuckers get bored. They be like, man, I don't know what this nigga talking about. Fuck it, I'm gonna click off this bitch. I don't hear Dolomite. He ain't saying, you know, fuck that nigga. Y'all ain't here to hear me. I have a guest for a motherfucking reason. I didn't have him on to talk over him. I didn't have him on to show him how much I know about the shit, because obviously I had him on because he know more about this subject matter than I do. So that's the reason I even had him on. That's the reason I'm inviting him back, so he can go more in depth. Because if y'all niggas are still here listening right now, DM me or DM him. Any questions y'all got about any of this shit, hit him up, nigga. He's at the complete liberty to ignore you if you on dumb shit and answer you if he wants to, or if it's something he want to sell you. It is what it is, my nigga. I'm just having him on here so y'all understand what he got to offer as far as knowledge and wisdom, and he will be back again. I appreciate you showing up to this motherfucker. Good looking out for the information, y'all niggas. I'm gonna put all his information in the show notes on YouTube. I'm gonna put that motherfucker in the description or whatever the fuck, because I'm not that versed on YouTube. I'm on there, but I don't know how to use the shit. But
we're
everything
together. I'm telling you, we're gonna learn it together, because it's that knowledge of saying, okay, I can do like this, and get more views. But then it's saying I have a bigger and broader audience. Because I've been looking for podcasters to include in what I'm doing, but it's almost like everybody want to be the king of their own shit. And I get that. But what's the king of an ant pile? What's the king of nothing? What's the king of no followers? When the same shit we preaching we need, we got to do. You feel me?
Exactly. So I ain't making no millions off this shit. So it's like, if you can come in this motherfucker and show my listeners how to make $5 more than they had before, nigga, it's greatly appreciated, because that's $5 more than they had in the first place.
We're gonna do some day trading examples and everything, because it's like a video game. It's literally like a video game. On a demo account, I did like $2,000 in like 16 hours. And that's between Thursday evening and Friday afternoon, it was $2,000 off of 30-second trades. You end there for 30 seconds, it jumped to $200. You take your profits.
And that's what I'm saying. As long as you can give actionable motherfucking advice, shit that I can use. It's like shit, nigga. Why wouldn't I have you on this motherfucker? Like, nigga, I got 100 and some episodes, nigga, that y'all could go back and listen to. If you want certain shit, you can go back and listen to these motherfuckers. But this shit right here, it is some, like I said, it's some news you can use, my nigga.
Yes, sir.
This shit that I was excited to have him on this motherfucker for this particular reason. You know, and I hope that y'all just as excited to hear him on this motherfucker, because he gonna be back.
Yes, sir.
So that's the fucking thing. You know, like I said, I appreciate you coming on this motherfucker and, you know, blessing my listeners with what you had to say. You for sure coming back. Y'all motherfuckers go follow Mr. Brown _life agent, spelt correctly, Mr. Brown _life agent. If y'all can't spell that, you don't deserve to follow the motherfucker, because you're just stupid. But you know, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and drop the music. You know, I appreciate you for popping up.
Gotcha.
This has been your host, Uncle Dolomite, of the Too Much Game podcast. Nigga, live from the sanctuary once again. Shout out to my guest, Mr. Brown, life agent. You know, I'm gonna leave all that nigga information in the show notes so y'all can follow that shit. If you would like to support me financially, get you some merchandise at toomuchgamepodcast.store. toomuchgamepodcast.store. If you would like to support the team financially, it's patreon.com/townhouse media, Town Eat House Media. Support the other Townhouse Media podcast, Sports for You podcast, Sports #4, Letter U with Mark, John Watson, and Nick motherfucking Freeze. You know, live Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube. You know, follow me on social media at Uncle Dolomite on Twitter and Instagram, at Too Much Game Pod on Twitter, Too Much Game Podcast on Instagram. Shit, I think that's it, nigga. I ain't here to help you get bitches. I'm here to help you get better. Too much game.